I dated a guy named Joe for 3 months before he had left me to go back to his ex. Right after we broke up, I found out I was pregnant and now I'm 24 weeks. I let him know and he was ecstatic. Turns out his girlfriend had fertility issues and would likely never be able to get pregnant naturally, and he has always wanted to be a father. Getting back together was out of the question for both of us, so he's still with his girlfriend. Joe was only allowed at the initial appointment because of COVID, and we found out I was having twins. According to Joe, when he told his girlfriend, she had a mental breakdown about her infertility and she wanted to talk to me. I met them at their house, and his girlfriend Kim stated that she wanted to be involved in my pregnancy because she would eventually be the children's stepmother. She started telling me weird things like I needed to prepare for a home birth and that I need to formula feed so that they could have the babies half of the week, and that she wanted one boy and one girl. She also wants the kids to call her mama since they would be calling me mommy. I shut her down and said I would make the best choices for my children and my body and left. Kim continued to be overbearing. She texted me every day about my eating habits, exercise habits, and bitching about how her job wouldn't let her take maternity leave. At my virtual genetics counseling appointment, she attended instead of Joe and took over the whole meeting trying to talk about her family history, which wasn't even relevant. When it came time for my 20-week level 2 scan, they allowed me one guess and Joe suggested I take Kim instead of him, which I refused to do. Joe did end up coming and he found out the gender because I wanted to keep it a surprise for me and we could throw a gender reveal party. I put a pregnancy announcement on my social media and Kim did too. She made an announcement stating that they're expecting twins the non-traditional way and how blessed they were. I was irritated, but I kept my mouth shut until she had a gender reveal party, posted it on social media, and didn't even invite me. She also announced that she's having a baby shower. I commented on her post and told her to stop treating me like a surrogate and that the kids aren't hers and Joe doesn't have custody until they are born. I then called Joe and reiterated all of this to him, and I let him know that I'm not going to be seeing either of them until we went to family court and my mother would be my birthing partner. Joe and Kim and some of her family and friends are saying that I'm the asshole, and her mother even called and insisted that I give her one of the babies like this is the parent trap. What do I do to get her off my back? My friend and I are 22 and we've known each other since childhood and we have always been really tight. We're pretty open with each other and there aren't many secrets in our friendship up until now. I'm not gonna lie, he's the golden child of his family and receives a bunch of support from his parents. His younger sister, who is 21, gets it pretty bad and they treat her like shit. About a month ago, I was on OnlyFans and came across a profile and clicked on it. I shit myself and instantly clicked off the profile. I never would have clicked on her profile if I had known it was her, and I wanted to respect her right to be anonymous on the website. I thought about it for a few days and eventually messaged her the following with the intention of helping her out. Hey Belle, this is really awkward for me and I hope you understand that I'm coming from a place of concern rather than anything else. I came across your OnlyFans the other day when at first I didn't know it was you. I clicked off once I realized. Just a heads up, I could identify you from your tattoos and I'd hate for your anonymity to be compromised if you continue to post since you have a fake name and all. I suggest blurring out these features, but if you're not bothered by this, then keep doing what you're doing. I just thought I'd touch base to be safe. I hope you're doing well, and again, I hope you understand that I'm just looking out for your safety. See you soon. She replied and was thankful that I pointed that out. She thought her tattoos and other features weren't unique enough to identify her, and she told me that she'll make a change. I saw her a couple days later at a party and she gave me a hug and things are back to normal. Fast forward, somebody else had identified her and had been collecting images from before I messaged her and up until now. They sent them to her parents. Nobody knows who this person is and they remained anonymous. Belle's parents ripped her a new one and her brother went on a huge rant on Facebook calling her all kinds of names. He came over for a few drinks and began to unload on me. I didn't really react and just kept telling him to calm down. He asked why I wasn't so surprised and I shrugged and said that a lot of girls have OnlyFans now and it's not a big deal. Eventually, it came out that I knew. I know I should have kept my mouth shut, but he was suspicious that I kept defending a slut. My friends have now booted me out of the group chat and said I broke bro code. So, am I the asshole for not telling my best friend that his sister has an OnlyFans?
This is a sad one, guys. This is a story about how my dog died, but my parents told me she ran away. It happened around this time last year when I came back from college. I went to go play with my dogs, and usually they're both really hyper and they all run up to me and they want me to pet them and play with them. And I noticed that my other chihuahua wasn't there, and I thought it was really weird because she's always hyperactive and it's always jumping on me and wanting me to play with her. And so I'm looking around the backyard and around the house. I'm like, Chewy, where are you? And I'm like, oh shit, she's not here. So I tell my dad, like, Dad, Chewy's gone, because he's the one who usually takes care of them when I'm at school. And my dad was like super shocked. He's like, wait, are you sure? Like, she should be in the backyard. Like, I just saw her. Like, she has to be there. So he's going to look for them, and I'm over here just stressing out because I just finished school, and I'm just like, where's my dog? I feel like shit that she's missing. So the first thing I tried doing was making all these Facebook posts in like our local lost and pets area and just trying to see if anyone caught her by accident and someone has her. And it all goes downhill from there, guys. Part 2 of my sad dog story. So my dad and I decided to go to the animal shelter to see if we can find my dog. And the first brown dog my dad sees, he's like, oh my god, look, it's Chewy. We found her. Look, let's bring her home. And I was like, so suspect. I was like, wait. I was like, Dad, that's not her. Like, what are you talking about? That doesn't even look like Chewy. That's not even a Chihuahua. I searched all the kettles that we had. I put her in the book and we left because she wasn't there. At this point, I was kind of losing all the hope because no one responding to any of my posts. And I thought she was gone. So then I started making posters and things like that, and I saw my siblings like talking between each other, and I knew they knew something. So I'm like, yo, tell me what the hell happened. Like, what are you guys hiding from me? And they're like, oh, nothing. Like, we don't know anything. I come to find out she's been missing and just no one told me. So I'm really pissed off at everyone, and I stopped talking to everyone in my house for like the next 3 days, okay? And then my dad got kind of fed up with it, and so one day I was just checking my post to see if anyone found her, and he tells me that she's actually dead. I know. So this is the fun part of how my doggy died. So my dad finally tells me, he's like, I'm so sorry, but she was hit by a car last week and we didn't want to tell you because you were in school and it was your finals and I'm really sorry. And he's crying. Like, I've never seen my dad cry, but my dad's crying. I'm crying. I was an emotional mess. I've never cried like that in my life. Like, I've never experienced death, so this was like the closest thing to it. And then I was in the second stage of grief and I was just pissed off at everyone because everyone in my house knew besides me. I was staying with my brother for school, and so I wasn't home all the time, and I didn't know. And I was just like, everyone get out of my face. I don't want to see any of you guys. You all betrayed me. I wasn't 10. I wasn't 15. I was 22. Like, you could have told me. Like, I didn't even get to see her when she passed away, and it made me really sad. But that's my doggy, Chewy. R.I.P. Chewy. So this is the story of when we got pulled over, and I cursed out our officer, part 1. Just a disclaimer, I don't condemn any of the things I did. I was 5, okay? So no one come at me for that. So I was at the age where I learned how to get myself out of the seatbelt of my booster seat, and my dad was taking me to the dentist, and he was warning me that we're going to get pulled over, and I wasn't listening, and so we eventually did get pulled over, and the officer comes over, and she's like, sir, do you know why I pulled you over today? And my dad's like, yeah, I know. She's learned how to take herself out of the car seat. I'm really sorry about that, but can you go yell at her for me? Like, please just go yell at her and tell her not to do it again. So I was like, what the hell, man? And the officer's like, okay, no problem. I'll go yell at her for you. Like, just open the door. Like, I'll talk to her. Don't worry. Okay, so this is part 2 of when I cursed at the officer. She was just being really nice and telling me, like, you know, I want you to put your seatbelt on because there's crazy people out here and I don't want you to get hurt. You know, what happens if you get in an accident? And I was just being a brat, capital B, just rolling my eyes and being rude. And I was like, shut up, you idiot. And my dad was just like, oh my God. And the cop just kind of laughed it off, but you could tell, like, she felt, like, pissed. And then she was like, oh, this brat just called me an idiot. And so my dad, like, gave me that death stare, and he's like, put your seatbelt on right now. I swear I'm going to leave you here. So being mad, I just put my seatbelt on. I was like, fine, I'll just put it on. I was like a brat. I was like, you're not my mom. You can't tell me what to do. So she finally left, and my dad's like, I'm so sorry that she did that. You know, thank you so much. And she was really nice. She didn't give us a ticket. I just feel really bad for being an asshole. And me being me, as soon as she left, I took that shit right back off, and I just continued running around the car without any. Alright guys, so this is a story of when I couldn't be on the volleyball team my freshman year of high school because I was Muslim and I wouldn't wear no booty shorts. So I thought I was really good and stuff, and the coach really liked me. But then, like, the last 2 days of trials, she asked to talk to me alone, and she's like, I discussed it with the other coach, and we noticed that you haven't been wearing, you know, shorts. You've always been wearing sweatpants. And I just want to let you know that our uniform is those spandex shorts. Is there going to be a problem? And I was like, yeah, I can't wear shorts because I'm Muslim. And she's like, well, unfortunately, you won't be able to play on the team. And she's like, we really want you to, but I'm sorry, like, this is our rule. This is like the city rules. So I ran away crying to the car, and my sister picked me up, and I told her everything that happened, and she was like, they can't do that. And I was like, what do you mean they can't do that? She goes, that's racist. They can't do that. And she's like, God, you're such a crybaby. Leave it to me. I'll take care of it. So she made a few phone calls in the city and let them know the situation. And then a couple phone calls later, somebody was on the team and wearing sweatpants. Okay, so this is a story when I ran away at my first day of work. I live near an Amazon warehouse, so everyone was getting jobs there, and I was like, oh, I want to get a job there because it's close to my house, and it paid well at that time, which was like $13. And so when I get there for the interview, it's like a really big group interview, and one by one, she's like, do you do drugs? Are you high right now? And I was like, no. And she's like, okay, put this in your mouth, and if you pass, you got the job, and we'll call you to set something up. And I was like, oh, is that it? You guys don't have to ask any questions? She's like, nope, that's it. And so we had orientation. It was a big group of people. And the orientation, they're like, you don't get any time off from October to January because that's peak holiday season. Not a single day off you can request. We can't request holiday or anything like that. I didn't get any 6 days. And all of these shifts were like 12-hour shifts. And I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. Anyway, I still proceed and I get the job. I go to my first day there. And it's like a really ghost town, like really depressing aura. A lot of older people. And I was like 18 at the time. And I was really sad. And I didn't feel right. I wanted to cry. So I said, can I go to the bathroom? And I ran away and I went home and I never went back again. Yeah, so that's my story.